Welcome to the Leela Life Show. I'm your host, Linda Andrews, and you've tuned in to the right place to up-level in your life and business. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Leela Life Show. I am your host, Linda Andrews, and it is an honor and pleasure to be with you here today. As we're entering into the end of the year, we have a lot of energy moving through the end of the year. So if you're feeling a little bit extra stressed, tired, antsy, whatever it is, just consider it normal on top of the what can feel sometimes like challenges of the holidays. And with challenges is opportunities to really be present, to be with your loved ones, and to share in this very special time. So I want to share some tips with you today about how to really presence yourself, presence your loved ones, and enjoy this time to the maximum as we come into the new year, and give yourself the gift of your vision, right? We have a chance over the next 2 weeks to add in, take out bad habits, clutter, things that just need maybe no longer space in your life. And so really taking some time to do that inventory and see what supportive changes, empowering changes you can make, or even be preparing for, creating that space for. So I'm going to start with a funny story. When I was in finance, I had a management job for a year, and I was doing business development. We were at our annual sales meeting, and I was pretty new to the role. I was feeling a little self-conscious, but we had to go around and do a share. It was like, what's your favorite hobby? And I was feeling like a little extra hippy dippy, I guess, in my suit, feeling like, my suit. And so then I'm just really grounding to the crunchy part of me. And I said, my favorite hobby is earthing. And if you don't know what that means, I'll tell you at happy hour. You know, we get to happy hour and I'm like, it's when you stand on the earth outside. And my manager took off his shoes and we're like at, a steakhouse barefoot earthing, joking and having a grand old time. So this leads me to the power of grounding and getting out into the earth, onto the earth. Maybe you're experiencing winter right now and colder weather, so this could be a little bit more challenging, but finding your spot on earth, feeling your feet connected, your bare feet connected is best. If you can't do bare feet, just visually imagining yourself connected to our earth, to the core of the earth. And there's countless studies that show the positive effects of grounding and what this can do to your energetics, and neutralizing and offsetting the energy through the opposite energy. I believe the earth is giving off positive ions and you're throwing off negative, or vice versa. So you can go down the grounding rabbit hole and look into that. But the point is the practices. And again, either mentally or physically doing that practice can be really powerful. At times during the holidays, especially, there's what we'll call a lot of output, right? Going to different things, seeing different people, different dynamics that could come up. And so using this as a tool to just take a breather, to get outside, get some fresh air, take some deep breaths can be so, so powerful. Which leads me to this next question. And this has really been resonant this week through client sessions. What could living in harmony as part of nature look like and mean to you? And so we'll start with this first part, living in harmony. It's like just even the energy of that statement could have something provoking for you, that you just let it simmer, let yourself contemplate that. And then on top of that, as part of nature, and we see this separation theme that can be this sort of lie or belief that you're other, you're separate. And when we look at ourselves as part of the whole, part of the grand picture here, I think there naturally can click in some harmony. Your decision-making shifts a little bit. So letting yourself see what that means to you. What could living in harmony as part of nature look like and mean to you? To decide, you've heard me say this means to cut off. So deciding, maybe it's just deciding that you live in harmony as part of nature. And when you make that decision, what does that cut off? What old decisions were you making, and what more empowering decisions shift in? I really feel like this is an opportunity to let that simmer. I like to do this energetic technique where I picture different words, literally working through every single cell of my body. And so when you hear this, what could living in harmony as part of nature mean to you? And you just let that resonate through your body, through your field, and just notice some subtle shifts. Maybe there's actually feelings that are coming up. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you need to rest. Maybe you're feeling really high energy. You want to express yourself creatively. Maybe you need connection time with your intimate partner, with your family. Just really noticing these clues and this little subtlety of seeing yourself as part of nature. And as you listen to your intuition and are able to attune to yourself, you're attuning to the greater whole. And just noticing what shifts come from there. All right. Something I've been practicing more so, I would say internally, but I'm bringing it public right now, and you may have already heard this. And I want you to try to stay with the essence of what I'm sharing with you. If it feels like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's okay. Like, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But we'll say healing timelines is what this is called. This is what I'm calling it, healing timelines. And if you believe in quantum reality, there's all different, it's like multi-dimensions, all these different things happening at one time. And we see this, right? There's almost 8 billion humans on the planet, and there is lots of things happening all the time. When you pull this into yourself and the idea that there's multiple timelines going on within your experience of life right now, and how do we know what those are? It's like imagining what would the different choice have equaled. So if you take a little inventory of your life and you think about some of the different choices that would have equaled different things, step one. And then step two is to literally go into any of these timelines that feel like there's resistance or maybe tension or past experiences that happened. You can take yourself back into the timeline and do some healing work. This could be by visualizing a conversation. You could actually do some writing to the different people that are involved. Maybe there's prayer. Maybe it's speaking to the younger or different versions of yourself. So this concept, healing the different timelines, we have the idea that there's all different things happening all the time. There's these different choice points in your own life that would equal different outcomes. And it's able to take yourself back to those choice points where you're feeling resistance and having the conversations through visioning, through writing, or if you do feel like you want to address that with a person, being able to go back into those timelines. So it's a very high level overview. Like I said, I'm exploring this within myself. I'm noticing shifts within my subconscious. I'd love to hear how you may already be using this, or what resonates to you, if anything. And I think that this is a really nice segue into this idea of nothing is ever lost. So when you take, say, the timeline and the choice point and where you are today versus where you would have been with a different decision, and there can sometimes be feelings of regret, feelings of curiosity, maybe. It doesn't necessarily have to be a good or bad thing, but this idea that nothing is ever lost. So you're taking every single life experience that brought you to this exact moment, and maybe there were different tough circumstances, and there are also pieces that offset that. And so those pieces that offset that could be, you didn't have X, but you had a lot of Y. You had a absent parent, like a physically absent parent, but then you had all these other people show up in parent type roles that maybe gave you more than that parent ever could have. So this idea of nothing is ever lost, it can soften some of the experiences that can feel sometimes grippy and sticky. When this is a repeated mantra, maybe it gives you access to a deeper, greater level of gratitude. So I'd really love to share that thought with you of nothing is ever lost, and see what that can shift in your life or shift the perspective. Some of the hardest, toughest challenges may give you access to different parts of yourself that are so robust and so beautiful that it's ends up in a lot of ways being a blessing. This is not advocating for trauma and struggle, like, oh, you had to go through that, but it's an opportunity to reframe what you could have already gone through that can tend to be sticking points that prevent you from the fulfillment of your fullest self in the now moment. Okay. All right. Which nothing is ever lost. Segue to everything is medicine. I've shared this before, but I'll share it again. I've nicknamed myself years ago as the Nordic Shaman. My mom hails down her family line from Finland. The Nordic culture, especially aesthetically, feels really just lovely to me. And shamanism is like connection to nature, felt really inaccessible to me because I was raised very much in the church, and that felt like almost demonic to talk about shamanism. And when you dive deeper to what's there, it's connection to earth, connection to everything, and there's a real beauty there. And so one of my favorite lessons from the light studying that I've done, and maybe beyond that, is just the innateness that these lessons and teachings are to me, is everything as medicine. And so there's something about moving through time and space, also known as your day or your minute, and being able to see things. It's like, what am I supposed to learn from this? What does this have for me? How is this helping me? What if every single thing that was lining up for you is for you, truly for you? So if everything is for you, and I know our modern day medical system has some challenges. So sometimes the annotation to medicine can be, sort of dark in its own right. But if we take the definition of medicine as like healing, and everything as part of our healing and wholeness, that's what I mean when I say this. What does that mean? Is this another opportunity for a reframe, or just seeing things from a slightly different perspective that allow you access to teachings and lessons through your own life experience? So much of what you are moving through every day, the hardest of times, the best of times, nothing's ever lost. It is for you, but it's that constant feedback loop and the making sense of these different experiences. So in the feedback loop, what's working, what's not, now what, understanding those things regularly, and then making the appropriate changes as needed, but allowing yourself to just sort of peer into everything as medicine and getting curious, right? We like to get curious, observe, and notice how so much of what you know to be true is through your life experiences, often the challenges that gave you access to deeper truths and knowings about yourself. And so when I say everything is medicine, with this desired outcome of you knowing truth for yourself, objective truth for yourself, let that resonate for a second. These days, a great starting question I have, and you can even use this in the holidays, if there's ever contentious topics coming up, but do you believe in objective truth? That's just like the starting question for a conversation if it's going in a challenging direction. And then the person will say yes or no. And if they say no, you can literally say, well, I don't think there's anything else to discuss, because at least for me, I'm interested in understanding and being curious. Where's the objective truth? Maybe that can be evolving as more and more information comes through. But I'm not interested in, the politicalization or the polarization of what's happening in the world, when we're not connected on that core question. Is there objective truth? And can we as two people get curious about what that is? So a little holiday hack there. And some of these as mantras, especially during sensitive times, nothing is ever lost, everything is medicine. Just notice if these are flooding through your system while you're in dynamics, how that feels to be present and to understand that and feel like a deeper level of trust. You can pop back to last week about self-trust and really feel that integrating within you. Beyond any of this, my invitation for you is to take a moment. We're coming into the darkest day of the year, coming into a new year on top of that. So we have the solstice, then we come into the new year. When it's the darkest day of the year, there could be some questions, right? What can't I see that I need to see? What can't I see that I need to see? What is revealing itself to me, right? We're going from the darkest to the lightest time. So all this light now will slowly over the next 6 months be coming back into our field. If you're in the hemisphere that I'm in, or then it's reversed, so you can flip flop these questions. But I think there's something to this where just understanding these energies of the winter solstice, darkest day of the year, coming into more and more and more light, or vice versa, and just understanding what messages could be there for you as you're navigating that. This can apply to business. This can apply to anything you're creating. What lessons are already learned, right? We're at this new year point. So what lessons have you learned? What disempowering beliefs, practices are no longer serving you that you want to leave in 2021 and then make an upgrade or a replacement, the adding in and crowding out for 2022? I really, really encourage you to take some time with these questions, see what feels resonant from today's little episode, and maybe sit down, do some journaling work. A practice that I'm personally loving right now is the 3 full pages of free writing. I get the little fancy, or not fancy, but the like business, I'm looking because they're right behind me, big paper pads, legal pads, free write, 3 full pages. So whatever comes through your heart and mind. And then some of these things could be used as really beautiful journal prompts. What could living in harmony as part of nature mean to me? Free write, right? Living more in tune with the seasons, eating more seasonally, understanding the moon cycles. That could be a great place to take that free writing episode. The free writing exercise. Nothing is ever lost. What could that shift in my perspective about what I've gone through in my past, how those lessons stay with me, and the empowerment from that I'm taking forward to my future? Everything as medicine, right? What blessings are being given to me through circumstances that are amazing or challenging that you can really take and hold and integrate. And I want to leave you today with this word integration. You may have powerful work that you're doing, healing practices, morning rituals, spiritual journeys. You may get into plant medicine. I mean, there's just so much for you in the healing world. And we tend to sometimes have these modes on off. It's like, oh, I'm in that mode, I'm on this mode. So inviting the integration, and this really, what I think is beyond the integration, is this blending and this harmony of the masculine and feminine energies. And there may be times and spaces where one's more appropriate than the other, and you have to navigate that and figure that out a little bit, trial and error. But this harmonic question, where can I be in more harmony, I think can lend itself to exploring within yourself what parts of yourself are asking to be more integrated. And if that just sounded like a bunch of mumbo jumbo and you're like, what did you just say? Let me break it down even further. It's like, what parts of you, like the true you, the real you, the you that loves to laugh, the you that likes to be an actress or a singer or a model or a dancer or whatever, random, the farmer, the artist, the real you, under the layers, what if that is looking to be integrated? What parts of you in past times of your life where your soul just singing so much that is looking to be integrated and called back home within yourself? I think the real medicine. So I am certain that there may have been 1 or 2 little gems that clicked for you. Please like, share, subscribe, all the things. I appreciate so much your support as I'm finishing the business planning for 2022 and just looking strategically at the year, looking at the successes, the challenges of 2021 within my own business at Leela Life. I just feel so blessed for the opportunity to show up and share and serve. There's different things that personally, I had to take a couple steps back from like my email marketing and my social media, and some for personal reasons, some for professional reasons, but it may have been breathing room and space and letting room for creativity to flow and thrive. And then there's the fear voice of, oh my gosh, you're not doing this, this, or this. And then this is going to happen. And, there's a level of surrender. And I want to just thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here, and just feel so excited for the year ahead. Synchronicities happening more than I can even begin to share. So that's looking like some really beautiful events. And if you're in the West Palm Beach area, that you can stay tuned for. And the membership, the Lila Life Collective, relaunching in the new year, you can still get into it, and you're getting into it at the discounted rates. So we will have a rate increase in 2022. So get in while you can. And it's not just like get into the membership. So what's so great about this membership? Aside from content being regularly updated with more in-depth teachings from me within the collective, partnership programming and discounts within the collective. And then last but not least, the whole Life Expanded program, which is my signature program. I go into the Mindset Advantage. I go into Wealth Expanded, which is a little like financial subconscious unblocking program, lifestyle design, taking ownership of your life, your days, your time, mindset, and then well-being. So and movement and nourishment. Right? That equals 5. There's 5 different elements, and they're broken down within the Life Expanded program, which lives inside the Lila Life Collective. I wanted to make sure that nothing that I was doing was competing with each other, and make it really easy for you to access those materials. So you can find that at lilalife.co. And I, again, thank you so much. Much love. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and let yourself try some of these practices, what intuitively feels the most resonant. Be so gentle, love yourself, love others, and allow presence and life to flow through in these now moments that we get to share. And I thank you for sharing this one with me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Lila Life Show. Be sure to share, like, and comment. Tune in next week. And if you're not already a member of the Lila Life Collective, you'll want to be. So take a look in the show notes and be sure you sign up today. Have a beautiful day.